In this session, I'm going to talk a little bit more about prompt engineering 101. Most of the people think that prompt engineering was just like writing sentences or copying and pasting the prompting and then asking something to AI. But I believe that it is a way more different than that. If you're thinking like this, prepare yourself to change your mind because this presentation is just made for you. And the AI is changing everything, and especially the way we interact with computers, how we get the benefit from them. And what I think is that prompt engineering is just like learning to use computers at 90s. That's the reason why I advise you to spend more energy on this field. It's not just like writing a funny jokes on ChatGPT or not asking something like Google search keywords. Yes, ChatGPT will answer for you, but if you just understand how AI is working at behind those screens, just like I'm not, it doesn't mean that how LLMs are working in GPUs and all the technical stuff. What I mean is how to interact with AI is just crucial information for today's business world. So yeah, let's talk a little bit more about generative AI. What is the generative AI thing and why most of the people are just thinking about this? To be honest, I hate cliche. So I'm sorry to put such a cliche screenshot, but I really want to remind you, some of you, that we're talking about the biggest tech advancements of human history. This is one of the proofs. So we had lots of products previously which reached the 100 million users from 1 million. It's ChatGPT. It's just 5 days. They have increased 1 million user, and 100 million is just 60 days, which is crazy. It also shows that not only ChatGPT, but also the other platform built on top of ChatGPT generates huge attention. And the AutoGPT is one of the repos building on top of AI. And we can easily see that the GitHub stars, which shows the developer attention of the project, is just having a huge bump in here. So this kind of stuff is just pushing us into a little bit stress, mostly for AI developers, because everything is changing so fast. And you know what happened at the drama of last week, last weekend. And then ChatGPT is part of our life, and it's not just like a website you are asking the question. I think it's deeper than that. And I'm 32 years old, and when I was a child, I was playing The Sims a lot with my sister, as I don't have a brother. It was my only option. As you can see in here, Stanford researchers are just created a virtual world, which shows us the seriousness of LLM thing and how it can change the world by not just content writer products or any assistant. It's beyond that. It's actually about the reasoning capacity of computers, which is a really important thing because computers are from now on, they can think. And they are simulating this thinking and how this will reflect to the real life conditions. And then Stanford created such an environment where people are just waking up, brushing teeth, taking a shower, cooking breakfast, talking with people, packing the bed, and beginning the workday, earning money, and all those real life steps are integrated into this game. Actually, it's not a playable game, and it's just like something you can just watch directly. So in here, you can easily see that there is a co-living space, bar, cafe, houses, college. So please pay attention to this paper. It was one of my initial papers. I read fully at the beginning of AI thing. It's not just a game, to be honest, because they are both characters and also the virtual representation of them. Some of them are doing different jobs, and they are just thinking just like a human through the prompts, which is called reflection, which is a prompting approach, which is not a topic to discuss right now. But and the game is just working like this. If Isabella Rodriguez is drinking coffee, and then another prompt is just drawing some movements on the game, and at the end of the day, we can just see people are interacting between of them. For example, in this case, Isabella and Tom is a little bit gossiping about Sam Moore, and Tom said that, to be honest, I don't like Sam Moore. I think he's out of touch with the community and doesn't have our best interest at heart. So it's really interesting because it's just like a natural language dialogue. And also, those dialogues are not just created on the fly, it just creates some sort of ideas on top of people's mind. So, for example, this is just like a real world, and they're just making elections. People are just talking about this, and lots of things are happening. For example, these people has some routine with their life, and some if someone just asking what are you working on today, Eddie is saying that I'm working on a new music composition, etc. So it's just like this, and then people can even invite some people to the parties they have organized. For example, in this case, Isabella invited a lot of people except of Jennifer, Maria, and Abigail. And Abigail learned that there's a party from Klaus, and then asking Isabella that can I just come to your party? So actually, the real reason behind of this idea is just building in another world, just like us, and then being able to test the changes of world. And that's why they're also calling this social simulacra. And the real reason why the Stanford researchers created this paper is that testing the breaking changes about the world without suffering any human, which is something really surprising. So let's come up to the real world. So what I was trying to do in here is that it is not just about asking the questions and getting the answers. It's just like simulating a people. It's just like a creating a world and the being god of it. It's really interesting thing, I think. And also it shows the potential of AI agents, which is relatively new topic in even an LLM world. Not just using LLM to respond to questions. Instead, LLMs are being able to interact with other LLMs and then talk and then create some solutions. There are some companies who are building some fake peoples, fake AI agents simulating the peoples, and then acting like a real worker and then working with you through the Slack, accomplishing some specific tasks, which is crazy. And what we are seeing in here in the McKinsey's report is that, as you can see in here, it's impacting directly sales and marketing. In this chart, we can see the size of impact, which is up to $500 billion, 500 billion, and it's mostly impacting sales and marketing, and also impact as percentage of functional spend is just 10 of marketing, because marketing has lots of budgets and additional costs. But for software engineering and some customer operations are just nearly half of them, or one of three of them is just impacted by generative AI, which means that we need to be prepared for this area as marketing people. As I can estimate that most of you are coming from marketing background. And another McKinsey report shows that, as you can see, banking and marketing, and education and marketing. As you can see in here, marketing and sales, all boxes are blue, which means that all the marketings will be highly impacted by LLM world, wherever your industry is. If you are working for customer operations, which we can say that if you're working on medical products or education, you are not directly impacted, or media or manufacturing, advanced manufacturing or advanced electronics is not directly affected by this. But as you can see in the marketing, it's all affected by the various industries. And right now, and most of the marketing people are just using at least one generative AI suite for their day-to-day life, mostly ChatGPT right now. But we can easily see that the other parts of business will come to this train as soon as possible. How all those things just happened? To be honest, it went so fast. At 2022, November 30, the ChatGPT is launched. It's not even 1 year old. And what's happening? Lots of new modules, lots of new technical advancements, lots of crises we are facing right now. And also, the every 8 months or 9 months, there's a new groundbreaking change. And then most of the people think that at the end of the game, we will face with AGI, which is artificial general intelligence, which can outrank people by intelligence and then accomplishment skills of doing tasks. And also, we have some problems with current LLMs, like inaccuracy. LLMs can easily lie to you with a huge confidence, which is a big issue for most of the people. But there are lots of many risks too. Some people don't believe AI systems for cybersecurity perspective. They don't want to leak their data, as the AI systems mostly using them as a training data, which is a huge thing. So they don't want to do it. And also, I think that the biggest risk we will face is just the universal basic income, because AI is coming for us. We love our work. We don't want to give our toys to someone else, but the AI's capability to do the tasks are way better than humans. So I'm not talking about 20 years later, or maybe not even 10 years later. I'm just talking about 5 years later. And you have some expertises on doing some tasks, but the AGI they will build will be most probably more talented than you. And also, it has unlimited time. It can be run for trillion times in 1 second, which means that the need of human will decrease a lot, which will end up with the idea of universal basic income, where the government is just paying all the wages and then protecting us from working, because the AI is able to just handle this. It's a little bit weird to hear, but UBI is a real thing. Just please watch it. You Universal Basic Income in a Nutshell video by searching on YouTube, which will change your mind. And it's even translated to Turkish and many other languages too. In a Nutshell is a great YouTube channel that explains this kind of thing to you. So I believe that until to do UBI, Universal Basic Income thing, happen to our life, what I believe is that it's not just a positive thing, because if you're not financially ready to the AGI, I think that the universal basic income the people paid by is not helping you to live your dream life. The worst thing is that you can't fix it, because there is no need to you if the AGI come to here. So instead, you can just try to do physical stuff, which is not automated by humans yet. But I advise you to watch that. Boston Dynamics is also partnering with OpenAI and building great stuff. Just check their YouTube channel, and you will be very surprised to see that. So I think it's something that we can't uh, close our eyes. It's coming for us, so we should prepare ourselves. But preparing by how? There are lots of people in YouTube are just posting something like this, earn the money through the ChatGPT, sell prompts, earn $1 trillion and etc. This kind of stuff. As you can imagine, most of them are just useless ones. So instead, I advise you to mostly spend the technical content instead of those ones. And because what we can do with LLMs is not right now, is just based on your creativity. You can just generate new text, rewrite the written text, extract some information, cluster the information, search within information, summarizing something, classifying data. Lots of things can be done by AI models. But what I can do in here is that just trying to follow the prompt engineering part of marketing, but not just like copying and pasting prompts from somewhere else. Instead, I advise you to just follow I will just show you some 3 examples from modern approaches, which is not created by those guys on YouTube, which is mostly created by the missions from Stanford and the Google Research Brain Team, DeepMind team, Princeton University. Lots of universities, AI teams are really taking this situation carefully. So I will just show you some examples in here. The first one is just made by OpenAI. And as you can see in here, we are seeing Ilya Sutskever names in here. Lots of names in here. Just approach to the situation happened to the last weekend. It's surprising me to see that. But yeah, let me start with the fifth shot prompting. Actually, let's come up with a thing. I really don't want to make you pushing the pressure under the jargon. I hate jargons. It's saying fifth shot, but it's all about giving examples to the AI. I will show you two different examples. The first one, I'm saying AI is that you have AI with focused travel recommendation, particularly about swimming spots for summer holidays. And then please answer the question. Could you please recommend me some destinations in Lisbon? As you can see in here, in some cases, AI can come up with irrelevant resolutions. And actually, my prompt is not very optimized in here. That's the reason. But I made this by knowing that, because I would just want to show that even though if your prompt is not good enough, by just providing some examples, your AI can work at least 2 times better than that from performance wise. For example, in this case, I say that, could you please recommend some destinations to visit in Lisbon for swimming? And I say that answer is a Cascais, Estoril, Costa de Caparica. And then the next question is that, could you please recommend some destinations to visit in Antalya? And in this case, what you can see in different in here is that, as I already said, that some places to swim at Lisbon, and the AI is just having tendency to complete my responses by the places to swim. Actually, all the LLM modules are just completion engines, just like the T9 at your keyboards, we have used for years with the mobile phones, they are just allowing the next word. Actually, the LLMs fundamentally works like this. That's the reason why you just need to follow a specific structure: question, answer, question, answer. If you include the examples more and more, for example, if I just include 3 or 4 more examples in here, I'm pretty sure that the answer will not be long like this. The answer will be similar to the initial one, like Kashkash, Israel, and Costa Rica, with just commas, because I'm just providing more examples to AI, and I'm also stating that I need more structured response. This is one of the most undervalued thing about using AI. Please, please, please give some examples to the AI, and then you will be able to see better results. I think the second one is that chain of thoughts, and I will also um, combine this with future prompting too to create better results. So it's just think like simple. It's not a complex thing. It's just like a AI guiding AI to talk a little bit more, not just asking the question directly. Instead, asking AI to think step by step. Actually, the very basic perspective of chain of thought is just shown in this situation. I'm saying that I'm my favorite rappers and not my favorite rappers in here. And it says that, okay, if you like Tupac, Biggie, Nas, Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, and Eazy-E, you can like Jay-Z, Dr. Dre, and Outkast. But this is not directly what I mean. Actually, just this part is irrelevant. But yeah, for the second part, as you can see in here, what I'm doing in here is like, while doing so, start by analyzing why I like my favorites and why I don't like the others. And then list the artists that could potentially be good fit for me. And then it's just following each example and then say that, okay, Biggie known for lyrical prowess and clever wordplay, and Tupac is known for storytelling, and then expressing the ideas one by one, which ends up with better reasoning of AI. If you are just a rap listener like me for years, you will easily see that the Kendrick Lamar is a way more better fit than maybe Dr. Dre in here. You can also force AI to think by just giving some examples too. For example, if you just want to guide AI to think like following a pattern, like this example. For example, what I did in here is that I have listed some rap artists, and AI is saying that, okay, Yeet, let's go step by step, starting with favorites and not so favorites, understanding why I don't like it and why I like the ones as favorites. And then I can guide the AI in an easier way and then it will enable me to do same for classical music composers. For example, what I'm writing in here is that thinking step by step as a headline, I'm using markdown formatting, which is just means that a big title. And then it's my thinking flow. And also the next one is the question. So let's go to the first one and then say that it's a question of me. For example, starting with question and then thinking step by step, question and thinking step by step, right? What we have said is that AI engines are mostly completion engines. So that what I can expect in here is that if I just change this part, here are some maybe classical music composers that I enjoy listening to. Pay attention to the structure of the prompt. And I'm saying that based on this link, do you have any recommendations for me for new classical music composers? And also, I made a mistake in here, new rap music composers, and AI is warning me that there's a mix-up situation in your case. So it's not making even mistake, and I'm saying that classical music composers, and I'm fixing my mistake. And then, as you can see in here, AI is directly following the same thinking pattern. For example, coming from Eric Satie and say that, okay, Eric Satie is known for this kind of style, and just like I did for rap music. So as you can see in here, I like those ones and I don't like those ones. And then it says that based on your preferences, it appears that you enjoy composers who explore minimalism and experimentation and new approaches to the classical music. And then it's this reasoning comes from the previously thinking chain of thoughts. What we did in here is just creating a thinking flow by asking to the AI what we did for rap music artists, and then using directly this example, copying and pasting this to the another examples as a prefix, and then rerunning the AI, and then you will be able to see that it's following the same example. As you can see in here, there is a green chat GPT in here. I have used GPT 3.5 by intention in here because GPT-4 is more logical in most cases. But if you are building on top of API, just like us, the 1 million token, which is like 700,000 words to generate on GPT 3.5 is just not even $2, which is relatively a lot cheaper than GPT-4. With the latest OpenAI developer event, it becomes cheaper. I know that, but for some cases, you just need some speed. For those cases, knowing the essences of prompt engineering is also helping you to use less intelligent modules like GPT 3.5 or Llama or Mistral, open source LLMs, open source alternatives of ChatGPT. They are not powerful like that. That's why you just need to use the prompt engineering to extract what you are trying to get in here. That's the reason why you need to pay attention a lot to this. And also, let's move to the next part, which is an interesting one, tree of thoughts. I really like this approach because I think that it's a little bit funny. It is just like creating a fake panel to discuss such a topic or question sent by you, but you can choose your panelists to discuss this topic for you, and they will come up with some ending resolution and conclusion, which makes things extremely easy for you, and you will be able to sure that all those information is included enough to this story. Let me just show to you some examples. What I did with this prompt is that let me just stop it first. What I did in here is that please imagine five different experts to answer this question. All experts will write down their thoughts in one step, then share it with the group. Then all experts will continue to the next steps together. If any expert realize they were wrong at some point, they will leave the group. Our question is to find the recommend correct rap artist for Yeet, some rap artists that I enjoy listening to, my favorites and not so favorites. Based on the list, can you suggest me new rap artists that I might like? These experts are. In this case, I'm creating a fake panelists and then five different. And then I'm just want to hear the thoughts of what a rap producer will think from my favorites and not so favorites ones. And then they will discuss the situation. Please let me just go ahead. And then, yeah, that's interesting. There's a one magazine editor, one beat maker, two MCs, and one producer. And then the producer says that you can like Rakim and KRS-One and Big L. Yeah, those ones are just really relevant. So the world famous new school MC, which is new school, is just a thing is referring to the modern rap, and this modern rap MC is just coming up with more new school names like Joe Badass. And also the old school MC is just recommending me with DMX and Wu-Tang Clan, which is really relevant. And they have talks, and then at the step two, most of them are just remains confident with the original choices. But what I'm saying is that, okay, I don't like Wu Tang. Let's make three more panel rounds to discuss how it will change your recommendations. Because what I'm saying in here is that I don't like one of your recommendations. And let's discuss the new names by using the source of my dislike. Because I don't like Wu Tang Clan, which can be says that I need someone maybe better in storytelling or lyricism. And then, as you can see in here, and they are just running two or three panels and then discussing final resolutions. But you don't need to just directly read them. What we have learned with chain of thought is that we can just summarize this information, as we already forced AI to think a lot by lots of panelists said lots of different things in here. So there are lots of MCs in here, and I asked AI to say that the relevance score will be better, and I like it. If the sum of the names are just repeated for more than one, I see that their relevance score is getting higher. And I'm saying that let's add one more column and then add consensus notes from panel. As you can see in here, it's great. It's the summary I need. Actually, it's all about asking the correct questions to the AI. That's the reason why I never choose a way to guide you to just give you the prompt to do keyword research. Man, there are lots of different prompts you can find in the world which can help you to create keyword research outputs. So you can just search on Google and then find them. Instead, I'm just trying to help you to understand that thinking perspective of AI. And if you are not good at writing, I have some friends who are not good at writing, but you can still enhance your writings even by talking with AI. For example, if you want to learn more about prompt engineering, don't ask me. You can just go to the some systems like Perplexity, which is like a ChatGPT with a Google search. And for example, in this case, I'm using ThinkBuddy, which is a new tool created by us. I will just announce at the last slides of this presentation, but and then saying that make this question more explaining about learning more about prompt engineering for LLMs like GPT-4. And then I'm just pasting my content, and then it will help me to enhance my content. Actually, we have created such a tool because we really need such a thing, because going back and forth to the ChatGPT is just taking a lot of time. So what Perplexity is doing indifferent in that it asks you some questions. You can just select those questions, and then it will return you the relevant information. For example, it says that what aspects of prompt engineering you are paying attention, and then it gives us with some questions like prompt engineering techniques for LLMs, best practice in prompt engineering for GPT-4, new prompt engineering approaches for advanced AI systems, importance of effective communication in prompt design, role of empathy in creating prompts for AI system. It understands and extracts the queries from my search, from my question, and then creating some keywords to search, and then reading all those 25 content to create just a single answer for me. which is an amazing thing. You are feeding AI with an extra information at the end of this searching web keywords and their outputs, and then AI is still answering your questions, but by just using the thing written by real human, which is enabling LLM's qualities and output a lot more. Actually, it's all about thinking style. So what I can recommend you in here is that understanding tools for better thinking. One of my friends sent that to me, and I really like it. And it comes with some frameworks and perspectives for thinking effectively for complex problems. So I think that it's really implementable to the prompt engineering too, because it's all about AI. It's all about thinking style. And if you are deciding the AI into the correct way, because you are just guiding the creativity of AI by typing the prompts, you will create such a great thing. What I'm saying in here is that let's make it a little bit tangible. You remember the three of those where I organized a panel with rap artists to recommend me a new rapper to listen? And it's coming from six thinking hats, looks at decision from different perspectives. When you are just checking it, it says that how to use it. Yellow hat is positivity, green hat is creativity, red hat is emotions, white hat is data, black hat is downside, blue hat is the process. It creates six different approaches and then state that think from this perspective, think from six thinking hats, and then come up with a resolution from evaluating six different parts of the problem. So you can do a lot more just like this and get inspiration and do even more than that. And but still, I strongly advise that you should definitely follow promptingguide.ai, which is an amazing tool. I really like it. And also helping you to understand how it works by guiding you directly with examples. You should definitely check it out and then understand the prompt engineering fundamentals better. And also, there is a YouTuber which is called Jason AI. Its prompting video is very useful. It just helps you to learn what needs to be learned in 10 minutes. Yeah, yeah, it's mostly, I have some few slides. So what I can recommend you is that you should speak more than writing. It helps you to communicate more with AI. That's what I'm doing. There is a great app which is called Super Whisper. Right now we are building something a little bit better, but those guys are did an amazing work in with transcribing the voice for macOS users. I really like it. And what we are doing with ThinkBuddy is a little bit different than that. That's why, but until to this time, you should definitely check it out, the Super Whisper. And also, you should always ask AI to optimize your prompts. Those are my super tips. For example, I'm delegating some tasks to the Ali and Veli from my team, and then saying that please enhance this prompt by asking some questions to me first about the context. Sorry about that. As you can see in here, and I said that, okay, ask me some questions to increase the quality of this prompt. And then it says that, okay, we will help you to delegate some tasks to Ali or Willy. I have explained about them a little bit and what are the best perspectives, best parts of them. And then I'm asking to AI is that, what are the questions to answer? For example, AI is just coming that, is Ali is only using Excel or any other technical tools, and then lots of different ideas and questions, and then I'm answering them directly, which will end up with AI to create better prompts. Why not to create a recursion? You can just send the optimized one to the AI again to optimize it even more. There is no such a thing we can call it as completely optimized. There is always an opportunity to optimize stuff. So I'm just thinking from this perspective. As you can see in here, my question to the AI about delegations of tasks of the digital marketing team is just changed a lot by my answers. And then I can just copy directly the optimized prompt and then editing my initial prompt and then saying to the AI is that please enhance this prompt directly, even if it is enhanced too. If you are just save and submit, it will come up with more and more questions. Actually, if you are obsessed with optimization, just like me, you can use these recursive questions and then it will make you a lot happy and it makes things a lot useful. Yeah, it's the marketing time. So we are building a new app, actually, me and Ufuk, and you can just ask the questions directly, which is thinkbuddy.ai. Please visit, and we will launch this very soon. I'm pretty sure that you will love it. I'm using AI for every single day, at least for 100 times per day. Sometimes it's 200 or 300 times. And then ThinkBuddy is helping you to just triggering by shortcuts, which makes things easier for you. So you can easily ask your questions to the AI, and then you can even send your questions by voice, which is what I have advised to you. So for this case, I'm asking something to the AI, and then just press enter to send this voice message. And then we will use OpenAI's voice to text library, which is called Whisper 3. And we are just as you can see, I didn't wrote this prompt. Actually, I just spoke, and then it just converts to the text, and then you can ask your question. You can't believe how fast it makes you without just using it, because this voice thing changed a lot of things. It works with any languages: English, Turkish, German, French, Portuguese, any of them. Just ask your questions and then you get the answers. So there are lots of more things about AI. So you can just regenerate, change the question, ask again. You can create prompts, and also you can create some hotkeys to assign. And in this case, don't ask me why I'm using such a complex hotkey, but there's a reason behind of it. I will explain later. And then you can just use it for free. It's not paid app. Actually, you can just, of course, go to the premium, but we have a free version. And then you can just directly ask any question by quick voice, take actions by text or inline writing, and many more. It's my first desktop experience, software building experience, and it was really fun and also very useful. So the last part of ThinkBuddy is just that you can just also summarize the texts, emails. Just click, choose. For example, if you just say that summarize, and then it summarizes email to you. It works wherever you are. If you just like it, just please like write me Twitter DM or just register yourself to the wait list. Please go to the website thinkbuddy.ai, which is extremely cool. You will like it. And then let's keep in touch. Next language is English. Please don't prompt in Turkish, Italian, French, German, anything else. The quality of responses will not be high quality like English. It's a proven thing, not a snake oil. And also, please accept that if you are not getting output you want, the problem is most probably you. And you can just search a little bit more about AI agent, which is a little bit invalid after than the latest event of OpenAI, but it's still lots of things to do. And also research a little bit about embeddings, which could be useful to understand how AI is working. And I recommend you to create some hobby projects. You can just use the GPT-4 sheets to do lots of things more. Please get your hands dirty, otherwise you can't learn anything about AI. And what I can say is just researching weekly or monthly check of Hacker News, GitHub Trends, Futurepedia, and Twitter will be very useful. And then that's all. And we have one more last thing. And so we also using AI effectively to build new products. For example, this one is the new feature of Wope.com, which is the marketing solution we have created. Please come up with feedbacks. We are not trying to selling the solution in here, but we are trying to build one of the next big thing in generative AI. For this case, we have built world's first DALL-E 3 integrated content generation tool. please go ahead and hit the DM button through the Twitter. And as you can see, it's very nice picture. Thankfully, to our talented team be able to do such stuff at Wope.com too. Let's keep in touch, and don't forget that the future will come faster than we expect, so be prepared. And don't forget to download ThinkBuddy, and thank you for listening.
Thank you for your presentation. I think it's like on the AI jargon, it was like step by step.
It's also nice to see that my video is not interrupted, because I can't see anything until my presentation is being completed. I was a little bit nervous until to hear your voice. Please pay more attention to the AI, and we are very happy to answer all of the questions. Do we have any question to answer, Ahmet, or should I just give my seat to the next
Actually, I
one?
have some questions about the ThinkBuddy. I think it's free for now, right?
Yeah,
Like there's
of
a free
course.
plan for that.
Yeah, there's a free plan, and then the details are just shown on the website. So it's my personal project. Sorry for getting involved to here, but I'm so excited, as it is just mostly enabling people to use AI more, which is my thing right now, trying to forcing people to use AI more. So we'll be happy to use and get feedbacks from the users. Please go ahead. It will be launched a week, but if you just come up to the wait list, and then we will release sooner to you.
Okay, perfect. I will also share the link on the chat box. Also, on the last part you mentioned that the last how to say that last updates of the Wope. So also I was trying to build an GPT on the ChatGPT like that about the images with DALL-E 3. I wish I could use Wope on that part, like because we are using on for the blog posts and also newsletters for the imaging. So it's really nice to see that on the Wope.
Yeah, that will be very nice, and we will integrate more and more feature. And also, we are partnering with Fall AI, where they are making an enormous technology. You should definitely check it out. You can just play, just play with mouse, and then move the sun and sea and trees. You will see that the image is rendering instantaneously. These kind of things, makes us understanding how AI works in different use cases and how fast paced it is. That's why I want to share. We are also implementing something like this, and you will love it. I'm pretty sure.
So you don't have to write some prompts, just
Just
select the
type,
tree
and
and just
then
move it.
just type. It's creating instantaneously. This technology of Fall is just taking 100 milliseconds to generate single image, which is crazy. We are integrating this to the Wope. Things will be very different when we completed this feature.
Hope to see that soon.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ahmet. So I don't want to get a lot of time to the break or the next speaker.
Okay, so if you have something to add, who are not using AI yet or using AI constantly, just add your last things and
Yeah, what I can say is that get your hands dirty, and then prompting guide.ai is a cool thing to follow. And what I've said that AI Jason, this YouTube channel is, I think, very beneficial. I think even better than mine. That's why I can maybe post to the here directly to help people to check it out. And if you want to follow my content, you can definitely follow me through YouTube and X too. I have two channels for both English and Turkish. I have pasted publicly from the chat.
Okay, thank you so much. Before you leave, we have just one pop-up question, and it's from a freelancer. He said that, hello, Mr. Yiğit. He has a freelance website and he wants to improve his or herself in the field of prompt. So how he or she think SEO and content strategies will change in the future? What do you think about that? I mean,
yeah, that's a nice question. We are also we have implemented a new feature into the Wope, which is content brief generator, which analyzes your website content and creating a strategy for you. What you can do in here is mostly is that talking more with AI about your use cases after then the latest event of OpenAI. What I mean is developer day event, not the weekend. Events happened last days, and you will see that the cutoff date of GPT-4 is also updated. It's April 2023, which means that you can ask your questions about AI directly to the AI, because from now on, AI is also know some content about AI. Previously, the cutoff date was 2021. You couldn't ask any questions about GPTs. So just go ahead and then use Perplexity or ChatGPT. Yeah, I strongly recommend to upgrade GPT-4 to get more proper responses for research purposes. And then you can just ask those questions with GPT-4 and it will end up better strategy for you. You can just get some copyrights from your competitors and then GPT by prompting what they are doing and explain your content strategy and your competitors' content strategy and force AI to think step by step to create a content strategy for your website too. And then it will help you to find the content gaps and new ideas. And as much as data you gave to the LLMs, actually, it's easier, thankfully, to the context size, the early days. We have faced with lots of problems when there was 4K context length is only valid, but right now you can just even send 60 or 70,000 words to the AI directly, which is crazy. That's the reason. What I'm saying is that just talk this with AI and then it will help you to understand how we should pronounce the AI. I think it is better. Yeah, it will help us.
But first you have to educate it.
Yeah. Giving more context will come up with better solutions. Please ask more lengthy questions. If you are not able to ask this kind of detailed questions, just ask AI how to make this question more detailed.
Okay, thanks so much, Yiğit. And
thank you.
I think we have something to do, so we have to continue.
Okay, that's great. Enjoy the event. Thank you for being a great host, Ahmet. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.